Luke chapter 5. Egeneto de entoi ton oklon epikes tai autoi kai akuen ton logon tu teu kai auto sön hestos paratön limnön gen saret. And it was in the crowd, in the time of the pressing upon him, in the time of the crowds pressing upon him, also to be hearing the word of the God. He also was having stood beside the lake of Gennesaret, kai iden duoploiaria hestota paratön limnön. And he saw two little boats, two small boats, having stood by the lake. Hoide alees apauton apobantes eplynan tadictua. But the fishes from them, having gone from them, were washing the nets. Embas de es hen ton ploion. And having entered into one of the boats, hoern Simonos, the one which was Shimon's, Erotesen auton apotöskös epanagagen oligon. He asked him from the land to lead upon a little, or lead out a little. Katisas de entoi ploioi edidasken tus oklus. And having sat in the boat, he was teaching the multitudes. Hos de epausato lalon. But as he paused, speaking, epen proston Simona epanagage esto batos kai kalasate da dictua humon e sagran. Lead thou out or upon the water into the deep, and loosen thou the nets, your nets, into a catch. Kai apokrite Simon epen. And having responded, Shimon said, Epistata, Master, diholes nyktos kopiasantes uden elabomen through all the night, having labored, we took nothing. Epidetoi rematisu kalaso ta dictua, but upon thy word I will loosen the nets, lower the nets. Kai tuto poiesantes syneklesan plötos ictuon polu, and this having effectuated, they shut up together and closed together a multitude of fishes, of many fishes. a great multitude of fishes. Diarreseto de tavdictua auton. And their nets were breaking through. Kai kateneusan tois metokkois en toi heteroi pluioi tu el tontas syllabestai autois. And having nodded to the partners in the other boat of their having come to together seize with them, Gai Erltan also they came, Gai Epler son ampoterata ploion, and they filled both the boats. Horste butidzestai auta, so that they were being plunged. They were sinking. Idon de Simon Petros prosepesen tois gonasin Yeshu legon. And Shimon Petros, having seen, fell to the knees to Yeshua, saying, Exelte apemu, go thou out from me. Hoti aner hamaratolosemi, Gurie, that a sinful man I am. Lord, tamboskar periesken auton, kai pantas tuus synautoi, epitei, agrai, ton iktuon, höi synelabon. For amazement surrounded him, grabbed him about, and all those with him, on account of the catch of the fish which they caught. Homoios de kai Iakobon, kai Johannen huius Zebedaiu, and likewise also Jacobos and Johannen, sons of Zabdi. Hoi san goino noi toi Simoni, which were being partners to Shimon. Kai epen proston Simona ho Jesus. And Yeshua said to Shimon, Me pobu, don't thou be fearing. Apotu nun anthropus essay zogron. From the now, thou shalt be capturers of men, capturing men. Thou shalt be capturing men. Kai katagagontes ta ploia epitern gern. And having brought up the boat upon the land, apprentes panta coluter sanautoi, having left everything, all things, they followed to him. Kai egeneto entoi enai auton en miai ton poleon, and it happened in his being in one of the cities, kai idu aner plurus lepras, And behold, a man full of leprosy, idon deton Yeshun, having seen Yeshua, peson epiprosopon, edete autu, legon, Kyrie, ean teleis, dynasaime, katarisai. And having seen Yeshua, having fell upon a face, he was begging of him, saying, Lord, if thou should be willing, thou art able to cleanse me, to clean me. Kai ekdenas den kera sato autu epon telo. And having stretched out the hand, he touched him, having said, I am willing. Kataristati, be thou clean. Kai euteos her lepra apelten abautu. And immediately the leprosy went from him. Kai autos parengelen autoi me denie pen. And he was charging him to nobody to speak. Alla apelton dexon seauton toi hiere. But having gone forth, show thyself to the priest. Kai prosenenke peritu katarismu su katos prosetaxen moises. Es maraturion autois. And show thou thyself to the priest, and offer thou concerning thy cleansing, just as Moshe commanded, into a testimony to them. Dier keto de malon hologos. And rather, all the more, the law, the word concerning him was going through. Kai suner konto okloi polloi. Akuen kai terapeuestai apoton asteneon auton. And many crowds, or great crowds, were coming together to be hearing and to be healed from their weaknesses or sicknesses. Autos de hypokoron entais eremois kai proseukomenos. But he was withdrawing into the desolate places and praying. Kai egeneto en miae ton hermeron kai autos didaskon. And it happened in one of the days, also he was teaching. Kai ersan katermenoi parisaioi kai nomo didaskaloi. And there were sitting Perishim and law teachers. Hoi ersan lutotes ek bases gomes tes Galileias kai Iudaias kai Jerusalem, which were having come out of all the regions of Galilee, all the villages of Galilee and Judea and Jerusalem. Kai dynamis Kyriu ön esto ias tai auton, and a power of Lord Yahweh was being into his healing, his to heal, to be healing. Kai idu andres perontes epiclines anthropon hos ön parallelumenos, and behold a man, behold men bringing upon a bed a man who was having been paralyzed. Kai exertu nauton esenenken kai tenai enopio nautu. And they were seeking him to bring in and to lay before him. Kai me heurontes poias esenenkosin auton diaton oklon anabantes epiton toma diaton geramon katsökan auton syntoi klinidioi esto meson emprosten tu Yeshu. And not having found what way they might bring in him through the crowd, having gone up upon the roof, through the tiles, the pottery, they lowered him with the couch into the midst before Yeshua. Kai idon tön pistinauton epen anthrope apeon taisoi hai hamartiaisu. And having seen their faith, he said, Man, thy sins have been forgiven thee. Kai santo dialogizestai hoi grammates kai hoi parisaioi legontes. And they began to be reasoning, that is the scribes and the parishim, saying, Tis estin hutos hos lale blasphemias. Who is this one who is speaking blasphemies? Blasphemies. Dis dynatai hamartias apenai monos hoteos. Who is being able to forgive sins, if not only the God? Epignos de hoiesius tus dialogismus auton, apokrites epen prosautus, ti dialogizestai entais cardiais humon. But Yeshua having known their reasonings, having responded, said to them, What ye are reasoning in your hearts. Tiestin eukopoteron epen. What is with easy labor to say? What is with easy labor to say? Apeon taisoi hai hamartiaisoi. Hamartiaisu. Epen egere kai peripate. To say, thy sins are forgiven for thee, or to say, Be thou arising, and walk ye. Be thou arising, and be thou walking. Hina te e döte. Hoti ho huios tu anthropu exousian eke, epites gus apienai hamaretias, epentoi parallelumenoi, soi lego, egere kai arasto, clinidionsu, poreu eston oikonsu. But so that ye might be having known that the Son of the Man is having authority upon the earth to be forgiving sins. He says to the paralytic, he said to the paralytic, to thee I am saying, be thou arising, and having taken up thy couch, be thou going into thy house. Kai parakrama anastas enopion auton. And immediately, having come up, he rose up, having come up before them. Aras epho kateketo, having lifted the what he was lying on, reclining on, apöten eston oikonautu. He went forth into his house, doxadzon ton theon, glorifying the God. Kai ecstasis elabena hapantas, and amazement took all. Kai edoxadzon ton theon, and they were glorifying the God. Kai eplus san pobu legontes, hoti edomen paradoxa sermeron. And they were filled of fear, saying that we saw unusual, unexpected, incredible, wonderful things today. Kai metatauta exulten, and after these things he went out. Kai eteasato telonen onomati leuen katermenon epito telonion. Kai epenautoia akolutemoi. And he spied, he saw, he beheld a tax collector by name Lewi sitting at, or upon, but at a tax table. And he said to him, be thou following me. Kai katalipon panta anastas kolute autoia. And having left behind all things, having arisen, he was following to him. Kai epoia dokern megalern lewes autoi entei oikiai autu. And Lewi effectuated a great banquet in his house for him. Kai oklos polus telonon, kai allon hoi san metauton katakemenoi. And a great crowd of tax collectors and others was being, who were being with them, sitting, reclining. Kai egongutson, hoi parisaioi, kai hoi grammate sauton, prostus materta sautu legontes. And the parishim and the scribes of them were murmuring to his disciples, saying, Tiati metaton telonon, kai hamaratolon, estiete, kai pinete. Through what? With the tax collectors and sinners, ye are eating and ye are drinking. Kai apokrites ho Iesus epen prosautus. And having responded, Yeshua said to them, Ukrea nekusin hoi hygiainontes iatru, alla hoi kako secontes. Not a need the healthy are having of a doctor. The healthy are not having a need of a doctor, but those having badness, having badly, the sick. Ukelölyta kalesai, dikaius alla hamaratolus es metanoian. I have not come to call righteous ones, but sinners into repentance. Hoide epan prosauton, but they said to him, Hoimatertai Ioannu nösteususin pykna kai deusis boyuntai. The disciples of Yohanan are fasting often, vigorously, with high frequency, and are effectuating prayers. Homoios kai hoiton parisaion. Likewise also those of the parishim. Hoidesoi estiusin kai pinusin. But those of thee, they are eating and they are drinking. Hode Yeshus epen prosautus, but Yeshua said to them, Me dynaste, tus huius tu nymponos. Ye are not being able, the sons of the bride chamber, and hoi honympios metautonestin, in which time the bridegroom is with them, poieusai nersteusai, to make, to fast. Eleusontai dehermerai, but a day will come, kai hotan apartei apauton honympios, also when the bridegroom be taken away from them. Tote nersteususin enekenais tais hermerais, then they shall fast in those days. Says days are coming. But days are coming also when the bridegroom should be taken from them, then they shall be fasting in those days. Elegen dekai Parabolön prosautus hotiudes epibleuma apohimatiu kainu skissas epiballe epihimation balaion. And he was saying also a parable to them, that nobody, a patch from a new garment having torn, is patching on, throwing on an old garment. Edemöge, for otherwise, kai to kainon skisse, kai toi palaiu, symponöse to epiblema to apotu kainu. Also, the new he is tearing, and the old, and to the old, the patch, the one from the new, will not be symphonious, not be harmonious, will not agree together. Kai udes balle oinon neon esaskus balaius, and nobody is throwing new wine into old wineskins. Edemöge, but otherwise, rökse ho oinos ho neos tu saskus, the new wine shall tear the wineskins. Kai autos ekkytösetai, kai hojaskoi apoluntai, and it shall be poured out, and the wineskins shall perish. Alla oinon neon esaskus kainus blöteon, but new wine into new wineskins is cast. Kai udes pion palaion tele neon, and nobody having drank old, is wanting new. Lege gar, for he is saying, hopalaios kröstosestin, the old is better.